From the Capitol campus of California State University, Sacramento, this is Made at Sac State.
Welcome to Made at Sac State, the video magazine. I'm Gloria Moraga. We are here to share the university's story and to celebrate academic excellence, our students and our faculty who are redefining the possible in the region and beyond.
The College of Engineering and Computer Science is redefining the possible. ECS transforms students into professionals by emphasizing theory and practice. ECS's computer science and computer engineering students are becoming 21st century cybersecurity experts. Sac State's civil engineers and construction managers land jobs before they graduate and are building bridges and housing complexes. Electrical and electronic engineers are learning to manage the smart grid, which will help keep America's energy needs fulfilled. And mechanical engineers are building cars, robots, and even artificial brains.
Joining us now is the Dean of the College of Engineering and Computer Science, Dean Lorenzo Smith. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
And we also have two students who are members of the Hornet Racing team, and you two are also in the Mechanical Engineering Department.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
And thank you for joining us. We have Anthony Mellison. You are the marketing lead for Hornet Racing, and Jeffrey Jackson, you're one of the technical directors for our club.
Yes.
And thank you both for being here. We'll get started with Dean Smith and a question to him. We saw a little bit about what the College of Engineering and Computer Science is all about in that little opening video. But tell us a little bit about how closely connected this college is to the community and what you're doing for our students as a whole.
Sure. Well, first, I really want to direct that toward what the faculty are doing. And my job is to do the best that I can to bring resources to the faculty and allow them to do what they do best, and that is interact and teach the students. And so it's really a question of what the faculty are doing with the students and how they serve the community. So theory and practice. And when I hear the feedback from industry, they tell me, Lorenzo, one of the things we love about your students is that they are well grounded in the theory, but they know how to hit the ground running. They understand the realities of industry. And this is why, again, I'm so proud of our students and our faculty, because that's part of our culture. We know that's one of our strengths, and anything we can do to promote that is good for our college and the community.
What is your background?
Well, I kind of grew up in the automotive industry, and so background mechanical engineering. I spent a lot of time in the area of manufacturing within the auto industry, and so I'm very familiar with a lot of the details associated with making the parts. In mechanical engineering, a big part of it is designing. But then the question is, well, how are you going to actually make this? And so I have some background in that area.
So I'm going to have you ask the students some questions, but before we get to the questions and all of this wonderful props that you brought, which are parts of the car, how wonderful has your education been here at Sac State? And we can start with you, Jeff.
It's been excellent. You know, like Dean Smith said, it's not only about the classes, but the projects that go on outside of the class. A very wise professor once told me that, you know, the classes give you your toolbox, and then what you do outside of the classroom or in industry teaches you how to use it. And that's exactly what we're able to do here with Hornet Racing.
And what exactly do you do at Hornet Racing?
So Hornet Racing is an intercollegiate design competition, and we build, test, and compete against other universities from all over the world in building a formula-style racer.
Okay. And Anthony, how have your classes been and work with your professors?
Pretty good. Whenever I have questions, I'm able to ask them. Most of us go into Hornet Racing not knowing much about cars. When I first started out, I didn't know anything about cars.
I just want to point out something very interesting that Anthony mentioned, and that is, you know, he went into this interaction with the Hornet Racing knowing nothing about cars or very little. But it really, he found, you correct me if I'm wrong, very inviting. Students invited you in spite of the fact that you didn't have that background. And again, this is what our college is about, exploring opportunities, learning new things. So I really was pleased to hear that. All of us are so proud of the accomplishments of Hornet Racing. I mean, you have these prizes, these awards that you win, and a lot of times people tend to focus on the prize. Well, my question to you is, When you look back, what do you think is going to be most valuable, the prize or the process of just going through this and chasing that prize?
It's definitely the process that's more valuable for us. We really take the time to try to learn all the tools necessary for us in order to make the car, which can be applicable to industry in the future.
Before we wrap up here, just give us an overview of what we have here on set.
Okay. First, far right, we have one of our helmets. It's it has to be a rated helmet along with the rest of our safety gear. It has to be fireproof and certified by several organizations to be able to use it in the competition. Up front here we have our uprights. Our uprights are what hold the spindles and the wheels onto the car, and they also transmit the steering and stabilization forces in the back. So over here you can see we actually have a plastic one, and the reason that we use something like this is to dial in our machining process. It's very expensive to go through the machining process just as practice with a large chunk of metal. So we actually do it out of plastic first to not only, perfect what we're going to do with a piece of metal, but also not risk breaking our tools in the meantime.
Yeah,
so
great, smart. Yes, we want to thank you all for spending some time with us and sharing the wonderful work that you do and the wonderful work that the faculty and you, Dean, are doing in the college.
My name is Ria Ali. I graduated with a degree in civil engineering. I am the Dean's Award medalist for the College of Engineering and Computer Science, and I am made at Sac State.
My name is Kayvon Shafazada. I am the chair and a professor of civil engineering, and I teach students who are made at Sac State.
For more information on the College of Engineering and Computer Science, check out our website.
The attack origins and attack targets that are going around the world right now. We see a lot of origins coming from China. We get this beautiful example of what's going on. And this is everyday life. We're constantly under attack, especially like our bank infrastructure.
I'm Gloria Moraga. This is Made at Sac State, the video magazine. Now, we use our bank cards at a store, and the next thing you know, boom, identity theft. We are here with three gentlemen to talk about cybersecurity and the College of Engineering and Computer Science. Welcome, Professor Isaac Gonza. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you for bringing these two wonderful students. We've got Daniel Flores and Daryl Nixon. We'll start with the professor. Tell us a little bit about the work in the field of cybersecurity, computer science.
The first thing we did was to form a center for information assurance and security. And that center led us to apply for Center of Academic Excellence from National Security Agency and Department of Homeland Security. You'll be happy to hear some of the students that we have here, what they're learning. And they can tell you more about that.
All right, let's get right to it.
So my education has been really fun. The class that Gonza teaches is attack and countermeasures and cyber forensics. So in attack and countermeasures, we see how to not only defend, but attack a little bit and get an overview of what criminals are doing to get a foothold in companies as well as credit cards.
Yes, and tell us a little bit about your education here. What are you doing?
Well, I would say that I'm concentrating in our cyber defense and operations certificate program. So with those two classes, we also have a class in cryptography and operating system pragmatics, which gives us kind of a lower level feel for kind of what's going on in a system.
What are you guys going to do when you graduate? What jobs are you going to get?
So my dream goal is essentially a penetration tester. So I work for a company and just see where the holes are at in the company, and if I can break through, I have to fix them.
And in addition to that, I'd like to do something in malware research, which would encompass reverse engineering viruses that they find in the wild. You take it apart, you learn how it works, and you research how to defend against it and how to fix the problem.
Now, I know we're running out of time, but I really do want to not let you all go before you give us all some tips on how not to get hacked. What are, if we go down the row, give me your number one tip for security, for keeping, because we've got our phones, the iPads, the tablets, and then our computers, blah, you know.
So a good tip for all of those things is keep them updated. There's a lot of professionals that know what they're doing, and they're actively trying to fix bugs in the code and anything that bad guys could exploit. So when you see that Windows pop up, when you see Java pop up, when you see Adobe pop up, keep all of those updated because those are fixes that will patch your software and keep you safer.
So if you say, oh, that takes too long, I'm not going to do it right now, that's not good.
Just stop what
Like
you're doing
all
and
things.
fix it.
Okay, all right. Tip number one tip.
Number one tip would be your number one defense is your password. If you have a short password, you use the same password for everything, and essentially your first line of defense is weak. So you have to strengthen your password and always try to use the two-step verification. So if you log into something, it'll send you a message on your phone, and on your phone you have to type in the message essentially on the internet.
Number one tip?
Number one tip is be careful about spam email that you receive that ask you questions about changing your password or changing your credentials, because typically that kind of information, once they send you that email, if you are not sure that you are expecting it, then it's better to call the person, especially if it comes from somebody you know. If you don't know the person, it's a good idea not to do that, because they're going to use that information to get access to your social security number or your credit card or any other sensitive information.
All right, the very good tips.
Hi, I'm Ron Brown. I'm the president and CEO of Brown Construction. I'm a 1986 graduate, and I'm made at Sac State.
Hi, I'm Darren Henry, project manager of the Custodian Hall Graduate Housing Project, and I'm made at Sac State.
In first place for the first time in our concrete solution problem, we have a repeat champion, Sac State. And now for the first place team, California State, Sacramento.
We're construction management students, and we're made at Sac State.
Construction management at Sac State is building the region and beyond. And on top of that, wow, what a grand group of people and what a grand department here at Sac State. Thank you all for being here. We have Professor Justin Reginetto, thank you for being here, and Alyssa Zayas, who is one of our recent grads, and she won some awards when she was here. And thank you very much for joining us, Henry Meyer, who is also a Sac State alum, but also now you're in construction management and you're hiring our graduates.
Yes, I am.
So thank you all for being here. We're going to start off just really briefly. Professor, tell us a little bit about this department and how closely connected you are to the community.
Oh, well, to discuss the program is both broad and focused. Obviously, it's focused on the construction industry, but our graduates learn engineering, they learn management on top of construction management, and we prepare them to basically run projects that could be anywhere between $1 million and, in Alyssa's case, she's getting ready to step onto a project that's worth several $100 millions. So we've got that as part of our curriculum. That's what we're training our students to do. In terms of relationship with industry, by the time our students get to be about in their junior year, many of them, if not all of them right now, have internships. So it's great as a professor to walk into a classroom and students are currently working on construction projects, because we start talking about stuff in greater detail than just the basics. And it's because we have access to industry that the students are able to get those jobs while they're still learning.
All right, so Alyssa, tell us a little bit about your Sac State career, your experience, but then you won awards while you were in school here, but also you got a wonderful job. So, boy, we're going to have some time here.
Yes.
So, first of all, your Sac State experience.
Coming here was a blessing in disguise. I do not think my career would be where it's at today had I not come to Sac State. A little bit about what Justin touched on, just the industry support in the classroom and the competitions, that gives the students the opportunity to get out there in the workforce and gain experience while they're still in school. So when they graduate, they have a resume to go off of that they can get hired and have a great job right out of college.
We love those graduation shots of all of you guys in your hard hats, and all of you, I think, in the last couple of years have had jobs already. You're already working on jobs. So Henry, you attended Sac State, and tell us about your experience here, but then you stay connected to the university. And so why? And we're thrilled, so it's a happy why.
There are several reasons. First of all, I'm passionate about construction, and I love this industry. I love the people I work with. I love the people in the industry. I love the company I work with. And what better way to give back to the community than to give back to Sac State to basically help mold me and make me where I'm at today.
So tell us about your foundation, or the foundation that helps Sac State students.
SMIF, the Sacramento Construction Management Education Foundation. So Gary Harbison gave me his board seat a little over 10 years ago, and as a new member of SMIF, I was completely in awe of some of these industry leaders that I sat on the board with. And they put a strategic plan together at that time to help support the construction management program at Sac State. And in the 10 years I've been on the board, I've seen them meet every milestone, every strategic plan item that they've set in place, and it's been quite an amazing experience.
Well, we want to thank you and thank everyone for supporting our students. Okay, let's talk about projects. We'll start with Alyssa. Alyssa, what are you working on right now? And then tell us what you're going to be doing, because we want to hear all about building.
Yeah. So currently I am on the Yuba City Courthouse project. It's a $40 million project in Yuba City. It's a 4-story courthouse, 6 courtrooms, prisoner holding on the basement level. I've been there for about 13 months. Once we turn that project over to the owner, I'll be going downtown to the Sacramento Downtown Plaza Hotel. It's a 16-story high-rise hotel right next door to the brand new Sacramento Kings Arena.
How exciting is that?
Very exciting. I'm very excited to be a part of such an iconic build in Sacramento, and something that will last a lifetime that I'll be able to say that I was a part of and helped build.
Oh, well, thank you. That's so exciting. And Henry, are you jealous? Now, did you hire Alyssa actually, or you helped bring her to your company, correct?
She is such a superstar that we pursued her for years before we finally landed her. But kind of getting back to what you said, my wife and kids are sick of me driving down, through Sacramento saying, I helped build that building, or I worked on that building. Before we even get to those buildings now, they'll say, I know you worked on that building. So that's what Alyssa's going to be saying.
So I know you're a mentor to the students, and thank you for that, but you're a little jealous that Alyssa gets to work on the big hotel downtown near the arena, or?
I've never worked on a $200 million project that's such an iconic project in Sacramento. So yeah, I am a little jealous.
I lobbied. I think I went to every operations manager in our office and said, I want to be on that project.
And she's made at Sac State, and so are you.
My name is Rosie Pan, and I'm a woman in construction management, made at Sac State.
Hi, I'm Henry Meyer, project executive with Swinerton Builders, and I was made at Sac State.
My name is Shivani Kumar. I'm a woman in construction management, and I'm made at Sac State.
One very important component of a Sac State education is learning to solve community problems. And some of our engineering and computer science students traveled around the world to help.
This school, called Togo International Children's Center, started off with about 60 kids. They're mostly orphans in the village, and they started to educate them. And through sponsorships and things like that, the school has grown to over 800 kids at this particular campus.
One of their issues is clean water. Right now they have a well that digs down 200 feet. If they're out of energy or if they don't have the diesel fuel, they cannot pump this well. It's too deep to do by hand. So they end up going to the marsh and drinking that water. That's highly unhealthy.
What we have designed and developed here is a DC microgrid based on renewable energy, so you see the solar panel here, and battery energy storage. And so what this does is this is a complete power system designed this particularly for them. So what it does is it actually tracks all the power that's flowing through our system. We have different voltage levels, different things like that.
We decided that bringing electricity to a school of children would allow them to get computers, to get access to the internet, to get access to education, but they need electricity.
This is a 100-watt monocrystalline solar panel. It's rated at 100 watts. The maximum power point voltage for this particular panel is 18.5 volts.
This is a Raspberry Pi, which is basically just a mini computer. Costs about $35.
The best case scenario is we go there and we find all the components we need locally. And the reason for that is because the shipping costs to get something like this, a 3 to 5 kilowatt system with the PV panels and the energy storage over to Uganda is not really cost effective. I think when I looked at it last, it was somewhere around the vicinity of $4 grand just to ship the solar panels alone. So anything we can get locally is definitely better.
This is Made at Sac State, the video magazine. I'm Gloria Moraga. We're talking about civil engineering. What an exciting time to be an engineer, especially in this time of worried about water and drought. So we have Professor Saad Miriam. Thank you very much for being here. And students, and thank you both students for taking time out of your studies to join us on Made at Sac State. Wazma Barman, thank you for being here. And John Rooks. Thanks for joining us. We're going to start with Professor.
Civil engineering program is one of the departments in the College of Engineering and Computer Science. We prepare our students for professional practice, and we offer courses both in depth and breadth in several areas in civil engineering. That includes environmental, geotechnical, transportation, structure, and water resources.
How much work are you doing related to water and the drought?
Most of my work is relevant to the state of California issues in water resources. We worked on projects with the Department of Water Resources, Caltrans, Flood Control Board, and areas that is important in the sustainability of water resources in our state.
Okay, Wazma, you are a graduate student. Tell us about your work and your studies here at Sac State.
I had a great experience being an engineering student at Sac State. I love the Department of Water Resources. I love the civil engineering department because the faculty and staff, they're very helpful. They're really hands in hands with students.
John, you're undergrad, so tell us about your studies and your work.
It's been an absolutely amazing experience with the civil engineering department. The faculty and staff support the students a lot, and I never thought that the teaching would be so direct when it comes to work, because in my internship I used the direct knowledge from the classes every single day, actually applied to engineering solutions. The professional organizations that you get to be a part of are just unbelievable. ASCE, they do statewide competitions. We're part of ESW, which actually is focusing on water projects for sustainability here on campus, so it's been a really great experience.
What are you doing in your internship?
My internship is with the Office of Water Programs, right over here across the street here at Sac State actually as well. And they're an environmental research group basically, and so my studies have been in conjunction with Sac State, actually a lot of working on campus at the Stork and working on different water projects.
Now, Wasma, you're a grad student, so your studies or your work is a little bit more advanced. What are you working on in relation to the drought and water?
Currently, I'm actually working to develop a WEAP model, which is water evaluation and planning for the Northwest Hydrologic region of California. I'll be developing the model to determine the water demand and usage for that region. I'm building different scenarios, like the current scenarios and future scenarios under climate change to predict the water demand for commercial, urban, and industrial use.
And Professor, how important is all of this work in relation to the state of California and water and what's happening here?
In the state of California, they use the model that Wasma just described, the WEAP model, for the water plan. That is a 4-year water plan. And we're trying to look at the impact of climate change on the micro scale to see if that changed from the system-wide analysis that DWR performs in their water plan.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending some time with us.
For more on the story, visit our website.
Hi, I'm Robert Nelson, president of the university, and I'm so proud of all of my students who are made at Sac State!
Commencement, what a joy to be there when thousands of Sac State students transition from the university to jobs. We leave you now with scenes from graduation and our fabulous College of Engineering and Computer Science.
Professors here at Sac State, especially for the College of Engineering and Computer Science, are absolutely fantastic. Being a Dean's Award recipient is probably the best feeling ever. It's something, that I've worked hard for without knowing that this is something I was going to achieve, but having been recognized for all of the hard work and the perseverance, it makes it all worth it. And I am working full-time now as a transportation engineer.